What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Bryce with the Real Squad, and today we have a special conversation. We are talking about all of this alien shit nonsense that's going around and getting our feelings out there on how we actually feel about it. By just keeping it real. So let's see what we got, man. So first things first, it's my boy Aaron. Came in here, you know what I'm saying, share his thoughts. He's pretty educated on these type of things. He asks the right questions. He's open-minded. When you have conversations like this, you have to have open-minded people to have these conversations with, because you will easily get shut down with people that are kind of religious or just easily fools, controlled. Man. Yeah. Okay, you can go ahead and call them fools.
Group thinkers.
Yeah. You gotta be able to think outside the box. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, good analogy. So the government is officially now coming out with saying that, we live alongside these extraterrestrial beings. We have spaceships from these species and stuff like that. Some we can man and others we cannot, or we are, what is the word when they basically, not back engineer. We're back engineering these things, and I don't know, man. I kind of felt like this was already a thing, but now, like I said, it's making it mainstream. First thoughts, what do you think?
Definitely, they had quote unquote conspiracy theorists. We've been up 230 to nothing since the beginning of COVID, and even like a little bit prior to that, they had called out that they were going to bring, they had already predicted that the government was going to start talking about like extraterrestrial stuff and all these aliens and shit.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. And I probably had to go back in my Instagram and find the post, but they found this out years ago, or they called it, and so and then all of a sudden now that's all we're seeing on the news. So that's all we see.
How does that actually make you feel then, since you heard that this was gonna happen? Did this affect your prior thoughts about life outside Earth, or does it just add on to it, or does it make it more questionable? Like, do you think this has truth behind it, or this is all a ploy?
I'm not sure. It has. I mean, it's no way we can be the only people here. That's just how I feel. It's no way, and not even quote unquote people. Like, you hear about all the lizard people and
the reptilians,
all that. Yeah.
So do you think, because it's like the Star Trek theory, where a certain species or a certain intelligence can't interfere with the development of another? That was like their thing in Star Trek. If they found a species that was lower than them, they couldn't directly interact because it would mess up the flow. Do you think that's what's been going on, or you think?
I feel like it is. It's
like a universal law, basically.
For sure. Yeah. I saw something to where because of like whatever rule that is, the reptilians have been like working with like these quote unquote elites.
The shadow, we'll call them the shadow government.
Yeah, like they've been working with them, just watching shit just unfold. Like, the shit is.
From my understanding, I don't believe that the reptilians are at the top of the food chain when it comes to higher beings. They might be more mid-level, and even still, with them being mid-level, they're leagues and leagues is more advanced than we are. Even being able to even cloak themselves to look like humans, and knowing what they know, they probably know a lot more than what we know, and they probably just like the regular government does with us, with like information and let it out bits by bits. They probably do the same. Yeah, they probably doing the same thing with the people that they're in contact with. And I feel like those more so would be like more of a malicious type of species. And I feel like the ones at the top of the food chain are more not, as far as like if they have what we think they have, we could have been done a long time ago. For sure. We could have ended us. But the fact that it hasn't happened, and you hear all these rumors or all these stories, not even stories, I mean rumors, but stories of UFOs, UAPs, whatever you want to call them, flying over military bases and shutting down nukes just like that without even landing. You know what I'm saying? Just to be like, hey, don't play with that.
That shit is crazy. Like, to even have like the tech to be able to like figure out like where on this planet like they're like
shit, radiation gotta be potent around these things. You know what I'm saying? They probably like, what the fuck is going on over there? Like, I'm telling you, bro.
Let me pull up real quick.
For real. And what kills me is all this stuff about frequency. How, depending on how you can control yours, you can, what's it called? If you lower your vibration, you can be visible on this plane. And if you raise it, that's when you disappear. And that's why it seems like these spaceships can come and go with ease, because they just lowering their frequency so they can interact. And then when it's time to go. And I've seen video, they got the TikTok video or the Tic-Tac video.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. Oh my gosh. They're all going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west. Look at that thing, dude. Well, if there's like, look at that thing. It's rotating. There's troubleshooting. Did you box moving target? No, I took an auto track.
That one UAP that went in the water. This is one of the reasons why I'm afraid of the ocean. I do not get down with the ocean. It's so much shit under. I'm almost sure.
I would never. I'm scared of the ocean for sure.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. Nigga, what?
So, all them Levitians and all that shit.
Yeah, the Leviathans, the Kraken, you name. But that's just like that's probably half of it, and the other half of not actually knowing what, like, even the mermaid. Like, I don't know what they look like. But if I'm in the ocean at nighttime, just imagine you on a cruise or something, you fall off the boat, you a good swimmer, so you at the top swimming, you over here floating in something
in the water. I'm done. I'm not gonna take myself out.
You take yourself out the game.
I'm not dealing with that.
You don't even want to see it, because once you see it, you can damn near have a heart. That's how I feel
done,
like
bro.
I'm gonna have a straight heart attack if someone swim up to me like, hey, what's up? Or, you know what I'm saying? If I just see it, or someone brush up against me, or I just happen to look down and about, it's like a mile of just one eyeball looking up at me like, what? I'm gonna be so dumb. But then you want to add on extraterrestrials that can possibly have underwater bases. Atlantis is still popping off, but it's just underwater.
Yeah, man. I wasn't even thinking about this shit.
That's what I'm saying, man. We don't know. Science fiction is getting more real to this day with the leaks of information. Man, nobody knows
none of that shit is random, bro.
It's not. I don't believe it's random. And like I said, when it comes to information, this is all human being based.
All right.
We only get shit from another human beings. And what have we learned from ourselves as humans? We lie, we deceive. We're not perfect, so things can be off or misread. And I always like to bring it back to those ancient tablets, those emerald tablets, man, when they describe what really happened here. And I'm probably gonna go with that as far as what I believe most, because it's the oldest text. And what is the point of writing science fiction back then or going so hard with science fiction? The fact that they say another species, you want to go ahead and call them the Anunnaki, whatever you want to call them, came down here, was different species of humanoids, and they picked one branch to throw their blood in there to advance them, and that's what made us. Like, that in itself is that would make a really crazy movie. And they've made movies like this. What's that movie? Prometheus will be a dumbed down version of what I just said just then, of the creators. I forgot what they called them in the movie. They wasn't the creators. It was the engineers. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah. That's a crazy name. So if we find out, all right, for example, if we find out this is 100% true, like these people, Anunnaki, come back, they just say they're like 20 foot tall human beings or something like that. They look just like us, but they just hella fucking big. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, how would you think the world will react? Do you think people will still go to work if they just popped up? Because apparently the information is out there now. The world should be knowing that what the government is saying, that aliens exist, and everybody's still continuing to do what they do. It didn't shake up the waters too much.
Your life can't be normal after seeing that, bro. I'm not driving to work, parking in the garage, and getting out and just gonna mosey up
with a giant ship just hovering over the planet. Like,
man, you're crazy.
We here.
Like, What? Like a mother base ship?
Yeah.
And you just see hella little like drones and shit like
just drop off.
Man, get the fuck out of here! I'm not doing that
Wee.
shit. I'm not. Nah.
Now, would you want it to go down like that? Yeah. I mean, where you gonna go? You stuck? Yeah, you ain't going nowhere.
What would you do?
So
I feel like you think some people like you think like another like entity would like come to our aid if that shit happened.
If the people, or I don't want to say people, but if the entities that created us were to come back, I mean, just like, all right, so at that point, I'm at the level of believing like, well, if they're out there, it's probably hella different versions of that out there. So who's know? But I don't know what they're coming back for. They can come back to be like, hey, y'all government is wilding. We come to, redo everything. So all this money is out the door. All that concept is out the door. Do if they want to. Only thing that might stay is like entertainment and sports. But other than that, all that shit is done. Like you know what I'm saying? I don't know if people want to play in the NBA anymore at that point because ain't nobody making no money. Yeah. Everything gonna have to be doing shit for fun.
The Monstars planet, like they had to be like chained onto the fucking courts and shit.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if they come with some liberation type shit, like y'all don't got to do this to make money because money is obsolete now. You know what I'm saying? You live off the land. You know what I mean? You don't learn how to cultivate.
Obsolete, bro. That shit is sick, right?
It is. It creates a crazy society. You know what I'm saying? All these rules that we don't get no say in. You following rules right now that you didn't have no say in.
Right. It was one. I can't think of the guy's name, but like the definition of an economy is that you have rich people and then you have poor people. Mm-hmm. Like if so when Mansa Musa went through like certain parts of like Africa or wherever else.
This is the richest man ever lived, by the way.
Ever. So when he went through like certain places and he was just like giving gold to like the poor people, that shit is crumbled, leading the economy, bro.
Yeah, he crumbled everything. So
if they come back and like one of these like the quote unquote aliens or any other entities or other people, they come through and just disrupt our money system like that, like this.
It'd be more so. Would it become like I feel like it'll become like a bartering system. Like I'll give you this if you give me that. Because at the end of the day, what's more important at that point is going to be knowledge and information. You know what I'm saying? You can't.
That's a fact.
Yeah. So like, what can you show me or what can you teach me to make you give you? You know what I'm saying?
What service can you provide?
Yeah, exactly. Not necessarily, like you said, not a currency, but a service or a knowledge. Like, what can I learn from you, basically? And I feel like that will make humans go so much further. And you know what I'm saying, as far as developing. Like, there's no
for us, like, cause we're dumb down. We don't even use that much of our brain, bro.
I feel like there's a reason behind that. I feel like there's a reason. There's something going on with DNA that we fully don't understand. So
then they trying to like, they got all these other. I ain't even gonna get into it. It's only XX and XY chromosomes.
Mm-hmm.
They trying to do all this other cute shit.
I mean, they already dabbling with cloning and stuff like that, and
yeah, Joe Biden. You see his ear? Like, okay, so when I was at Fletchy training, and we were like going over like counterintelligence and like basically like identifying people. Mm-hmm. Like, you know how people have like, you got like your standard thumbs, you got hitchhiker thumbs, you have earlobes that connect, you have earlobes that don't connect,
right?
All this and all that. This new Joe Biden, his earlobes don't. I mean, they don't dangle. They're connected to his face.
You saying originally it didn't? It
did not.
So then you have the theory of skinwalkers and maybe reptilians being able to put on a mask and stuff like that. Are these people That's what I'm saying. But if at the end of the day, this does make sense to me that if these things have been here for a long time, they would probably want to maintain some type of control or the illusion of control. And who's to say that they're not some of the most important people that we look up to? From what we can take it to sports figures, people that has been able to do extraordinary things, to political figures. Like at the end of the day, we could be praising a whole nother species and not knowing it. You know what I'm saying? I done seen plenty of clips of motherfuckers that look. I done seen somebody showed the clip. I thought it was funny, but it was LeBron James playing the game, and then in the audience, it looked like there was another LeBron James watching the game. Like that was trippy. I'm like, that looked like LeBron. Like it looked like it was two of the, like
his Sprite commercials, the old ones.
Yeah, but but in reality, like this was an actual game going on, and somebody zoomed in on this person that looked dead on them. And you get down to people that got money, like back in the day, you got Tupac, or even more so Michael Jackson. And he seemed like to know a lot of stuff. And then maybe what if he like, you know what, this is a lot. I'm just gonna fake this death and just rock with this, with reality, what he considers reality. Like I'm not gonna live this entertainer type of life. I'm gonna go ahead and step into what's real and deal with the people that, you know.
So it's a whole like conspiracy like behind that though.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. That's why I brought it up. The Michael Jackson still alive thing is crazy, and Tupac too, obviously, but more so Michael Jackson, because I would feel like he has the funds and notoriety to reach everybody,
right.
Or you know, all types of creatures. Shit, you know what I'm saying? That they'll probably like, yeah, you can do that. You can live here. You can live whatever you want. You can chill with us. We're gonna make it high. We will disguise you whenever you want to go out. It's so many clips of people that look like they're not real, but they hanging out with famous people. Like that'd be crazy. Yeah, yeah. That
like
would be
people
wow.
Who be like filling the seats at the like award shows and shit.
Mm-hmm. Like
those
you
are
don't
like
know.
NPCs,
Yeah,
bro.
you never know. It could be somebody in disguise. Niggas is chilling. Ain't nobody dying really. Because at the end of the day, you want to get real deep. What happens when you die? There's been studies of all type of people back in the day, scientists that will say, I think it was like, I could be wrong, don't quote me on this, but a certain amount of grams leaves the body when you take your last breath.
Grams,
like something leaves, like you lose, like it was a guy who did a science project basically on an elderly person in a home, and he was on a weighed table basically, and so when he died, he wanted to see what happened to the body, and it lost like a few grams when the person passed away.
So is that the spirit coming up out
basically,
of there?
yeah. So saying like we get into reincarnation and what really happens to when you die.